Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome.
We took an unplanned hiatus, but we're
Mm,
back.
Very unplanned, yes.
And we are going to be covering a movie that I actually got a suggestion for it from somebody that I met through my work, one of my
Mm.
families. So they really enjoyed horror movies and they shared this one with me. Said it was a cult classic. I had never heard of it. I don't know if you had ever heard of it before.
Never. I didn't.
So, luckily I was able to find this on Tubi. It's free. Tubi is just always coming in clutch with the the horror movies. I've
They
really come
are.
to love that app to watch movies, even though it has ads, and I cannot stand ads. We're too spoiled now.
I
So
know.
anytime I have to deal with ads, I get a little pissy, but it's fine.
I'm the
So
same way.
yes. So there's a lot of like some cool stuff before we get into it. There's some pretty cool facts that I think Socks will be dropping here and there as we're covering the movie. This is a part one. There is a part two,
Hmm.
although I haven't really searched into that. I see it on Tubi though. But to me, it looks completely unrelated. It's like one of those, doesn't matter which one you watch, they have their own independent storylines.
Right. And in fact, one of the facts about that is that in other countries like Germany, it was released as number two, Demons Two, and Demons Two was released as Demons One. So shows you there's no continuity in any of it. It's an
Yeah, so
Argento movie, so it doesn't make any sense, anyways.
I feel like I may at some point watch the second one. I don't know if we'll necessarily cover it, but I probably would just watch the second one just to
I
say
did
that I
see that
did.
there's a three and a four, but
Shut
then they were
up.
saying a five and a six. But it
Wait,
turns out
what?
like Italian horror
Wait a
back
minute.
then.
I
Yeah,
really
no, no,
thought it
no,
was just two. I don't
no,
have
no, no.
time for that.
So what happened is, Italian horror became so popular at that time, so they started releasing movies that were kind of similar, and they're slapping on the name. They're putting Demons Four, Demons Five, Demons Six,
What?
even though it had
Okay.
nothing to do with Argento or this director.
Mm,
Yeah.
I
So,
don't.
but
Can you do that?
two is true.
I don't think you can do that.
I don't,
Not in America. I don't
Italians.
think America. Yeah, I don't think you can do that in America.
No,
Somebody be getting
no.
sued.
RoboCop 5. That's not
Yeah.
gonna work.
Um. So, what year did this come out in? Sucks.
Oh, good question. Let's
Before
see
my
here.
time.
Well, and it looks like in the beginning, of the movie, where they're in the subway and she's on the train, I guess, or whatnot. It actually
Hmm.
looked like it was like old enough to where like Susie and the Banshees were gonna come out and start doing something. So this movie did come out in 1985. It was directed
Hmm.
by Lamberto Bava, even though Dario Argento is plastered all over it. So
Hmm.
it makes it seem like he was the director. He just co-wrote it. But again, Italian horror. They threw his name on there because he had just done Suspiria and I think another big hit. And they thought, oh, this will drag people in to see it because it's got
Trying
his
to
name on
ride
there.
those coattails.
Yeah, exactly. So, 1985.
Okay. So we open the movie, which, by the way, I have to say the music is just very 80s, and I live for intros like this. It's We're on a subway, and it's just showing a bunch of different people that are on the subway as this music's playing, and it gives me the first thing I automatically thought of was The Warriors. It's one of my favorite movies.
Mm.
But just with them being on the subway and the close up shots of the different people that are on there, it just gave me that feeling of The Warriors. And ever since I watched this movie for the first time, I was like, man, I gotta watch The Warriors. So, and I just saw a thing on Instagram today about The Warriors, and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to watch it.
It does have
But
good
it,
similarities.
Yeah, and it also gave me a very John Hughes esque feeling to it too, which I love those movies. So that I appreciated as well. But it's really stayed true to like the whole vibe of the 80s and like what everybody was kind of doing or trying to mimic
Oh
during that
yeah,
time, like with the
like that.
music and just the, I don't know, just like the edginess of just showing everybody like, yeah, that person's got a mohawk and
Mm-hmm.
Converse on, and this is a business person, and this guy can't be bothered. And I just have
Randoms.
always, yeah, I've always appreciated that.
Yeah, it had that feel of like saturated VHS quality. Like it
Mm-hmm.
gave you, cinematography of it was really good, but like also the look and the aesthetic of it. I can see where you would say, hey, it feels like the Warriors because it has that same,
Grainy
yeah, kind of
type.
look. Even in direction and in the way the camera's positioned, it still gives it that kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned the music, so a lot of the music is or soundtrack has real songs in there, but as far as like the music goes, especially in the beginning and towards some of the like scenes, it's done by a guy who's actually currently in a band called Goblin. His
Oh.
name is Claudio Simonetti, and he's also worked on like Dawn of the Dead, Suspiria. He's been working with Argento for a while, so
Oh,
he's
that's
he's kind of
cool.
used to the genre type of music for these horror movies.
Mm-hmm. And I actually appreciated, so this film, I want to say it's either two or three Accept songs. Um, if you guys know who Accept is, I do. It's like an 80s kind of hair band.
Mm-hmm.
And I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty cool. So because I hadn't thought about Accept for a really long time until I saw this, and I was like, "Well, I'm a subtitles girly. Everybody knows that." So whenever I saw Accept, song whatever song by Accept, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I thought that was
Ooh.
pretty cool.
That is cool.
So while we are going through these people on the subway, we are introduced to what we can only assume to be is our main character. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't quite remember her name, but that doesn't matter. It's okay.
I think she
Nancy? Is it
was
Nancy? No, oh no.
Cheryl. She was
Oh,
Cheryl.
Cheryl. And then her
Mm-hmm.
friend is Kathy. That's right.
Yes, her friend's Kathy. Yeah.
Okay. So she is just a nervous wreck. Like she's
Yeah.
already like she's just not having a good time.
She's clutching that book real close to
I
her on the subway, like
know. And it's like,
someone's gonna
bitch, have
steal
you
it.
never been on one before? Like, what's going on?
Not with all
She's
those colors. She
just
was dressed all casual, and then the people that were there are all Susie and the Banshees.
yeah, so she's going through her own journey on the subway, and they come to a stop, everybody shuffles out, and it just kind of seems like it just goes to empty like real
Hmm.
quick. So either everybody just knees to chest got out of there, or she just took her sweet time.
She
But
was slow, right? She's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
she was
wait for
very slow
everybody to leave first.
because everybody had to go upstairs. You know what I mean? That's, I don't know,
Hmm.
that's a little weird. But so she is still in her panic, and she starts to see that somebody is coming towards her, and she just kind of freaks out and she runs away. But she does, those stupid damsel in distress friends with the arms, just like, oh my god, oh, what am I
Failing.
gonna do?
Uh-huh.
I think that
She's
stuff is so funny.
trying to stay like, I'm calm. I'm calm. Don't worry.
Just wants to hold on to that book.
Yeah, exactly. She clutched it
she's
hard.
got she's got to return that book. No late fees. So she comes face to face with her supposed stalker. They come face to face, and he it made me laugh because I understand the time that this movie came out, and during this time, this is what was it. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
but he is in this Phantom of the Opera T-1000 looking mask.
It really is. It doesn't even make sense because I swear it's connected to the jawline, so he
Yeah.
can't even really talk. You know.
Well, yeah. So he and now really the seeing the guy with the mask is kind of like foreshadowing. Like,
Oh,
it's that's kind of how I mean, through my 10th rewatch, I was like, oh yeah, this is foreshadowing, huh? Um, so she sees him giving people tickets, these Willy Wonka style golden tickets.
Big golden ticket.
I
Yeah.
know. So she sees that he's giving these out and she's like, okay, well, this guy's legit or whatever. Let me just take a ticket. And then after running away from this man and making him feel like he was just a big asshole for chasing her, she's like, wait, can I get another one though?
For my friend.
I'd be like, bitch, I have been chasing you. I've been trying to give you these tickets. Oh, now you want another one? Oh my God.
He's like, whatever, here.
Yeah, he's like, be gone. So she gets the ticket and then she meets up with her friend. And I understand why she was so nervous, because her girl, Kathy, was getting ready to rip her ass the second she saw her.
Yeah, she was not happy. And waiting out here.
I know. So she just tells her, she's like, hey girl, like, I got these movie tickets, let's go. And her friend reluctantly is like, oh my God, okay, fine, like let's go, but it better not be a scary movie.
Yeah, she's like, there's not even a title on these tickets. And she's like, Cheryl's like, it's like a sneak preview, they don't let people know, it's just a random movie to see how the audience acts.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that? Just some random dude came up to you with a metal mask, gave you some tickets, and you're just assuming that's what it's gonna be.
You came up with your own backstory.
Yeah.
So
write that in your book.
Yep. So there they are. They're at the Metropole. And we see an exterior shot of this really cool building. It looks really nice.
Right. Fun fact, it was actually in Silent Hill, the first video game. You can see the outside with the Metropole on there. So it was a definite nod to the Argento film.
Yes.
And you actually know something more about that building.
Oh, so it's a theater in Berlin that they shot the exterior for. Obviously the whole film, it's not going to be inside that building that they were shooting all of the exterior shots for. They actually did the inside of a club, I believe is what it was. But they wanted to use the exterior shots, so they couldn't film in there. I'm only assuming because it was a real theater that was busy. It was famous. It was, known for... I was just known in that area, so they couldn't shoot it in there. They probably didn't have the budget for it either. Even if it was an option, they ain't got the budget for that.
Right.
Yeah. So we are in the theater, and just like the subway, we see different types of people that have received these tickets. So now thinking about it, I'm like, damn, was this Phantom of the Opera guy just putting in work all over the city, or did he just catch these people throughout his day shift at the station?
The subway. Yeah. At the station.
So, I wonder how ahead of time people must have had these tickets before. Did they all just get them the same day and said, well, I ain't gonna doing shit later, so.
What are the odds, right? All of them.
Yeah, none of them had plans. None of them had a life. Imagine. So we just see different people coming in, and I do love seeing there's this older couple that comes in, and the husband is just bitching and groaning as they're coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And the wife is just probably just excited just to be getting out, and he's just kind of treating her. He's like, bitch, you're lucky that I brought you out here to a free movie.
Right.
He really did something.
He was rude to her. I think he said something like, oh, just come on, or oh, shut up, or something like that.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny.
Well, I was gonna say, not only that, the girl who's taking the tickets is dressed in...
Oh my God.
Elf.
Yeah, we gotta talk about this, Ginger. Hold up. Back up. Yeah, because I had issues with her.
She was... Okay,
she's like in a Peter Pan.
Yeah, she's all grooming herself in a miror first before the place opens, and she's
just dancing, and she's like, oh yeah, bitch, you're hot.
This big old white collared green onesie.
I know. I was like, dang, okay, bitch.
She took it too harsh.
She's taking that job seriously. She wanted to look good for the people.
Yeah, she didn't even smile. She's the customer service and everything. She didn't smile or anything. She just took the
Dude.
tickets like you don't belong here.
No, she could not be bothered.
Nope, not at all.
We see a blind man and
Mm-hmm.
his or well, really, we see the younger woman first, and then she's got an older husband, dude that is blind, and definitely put a pin in that couple
Yep.
because I can definitely understand why she took her blind dude to a movie.
I
Yeah.
have no clue. You know, he astonished me because he couldn't step down a step, and then he's able to identify something that he can't see,
Mm-hmm.
which is, we'll get to that part, but like he just can do things that he couldn't, no one normally could do. But when it came to something supernatural, he was on it. He could just,
Mm-hmm.
he knew what was going on.
Something, yeah. I don't know if he just had a gift, I guess. So we also get to we're introduced to two young guys. Their names are George and Ken, and just doing what typical. What did they got to be like 19 to 22 at the most?
Yeah, one's got a
College
sweater
kids.
around him,
Yeah,
making you think he comes from money.
I know. Again, very 80s, right?
I mean, the other guy smacks the vending machine, and the coke comes out, and he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
look at me."
So they're really just there to scope out some prospects, right? I'm sure they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to see the movie, but they're looking for the honeys. They're looking for
Mm-hmm.
some women that they can just,
Kathy and Cheryl.
yes. And wouldn't you know, there is trouble at the Coke machine.
Yep.
We're back to our two main girls, and they take this as an opportunity to try to scoop them up.
Mm-hmm. Like he did that. Fonzie,
Yeah, I
here's
was
your
just gonna
coke.
say Fonzie.
Gives him the
Yes.
coke, and he's like, "Look at me, I'm a badass."
Like a Danny Zuko from
Yeah.
Grease vibe.
It was. They weren't impressed.
No, but she got her Coke though.
She got her
I
coke.
would I
Yeah.
would be a little impressed if I got
Yeah.
my snack. So then we see this is my favorite character of the movie, which I know is probably not a surprise to Socks, but we are introduced to this Richard Pryor look-alike pimp. The first thing I thought of was Richard Pryor. I just did, and he maintains that energy throughout, and I appreciate it. He's there with his bitches, and
Uh-huh.
the girl in the red pants is just straight thriller vibes.
She gave me like a. She had like a Rick James haircut.
Yes, she was very Rick James up top. Michael
Thriller on the
Jackson,
bottom.
yeah, Thriller on the bottom, which is funny because this is a movie about, zombies, right? So
Yeah.
I just thought that that was
Exactly.
kind of cool. And I was like, did they do this on purpose? Did they make her look like Michael Jackson? No, the Rick James, I was trying to find a good word or way to describe the hair, and yeah, you
I mean,
definitely did it.
dude, that guy, that 70s pimp. Nobody. I don't know if they told him that they weren't making a black exploitation movie because he was nailing it. It's like, oh hell no, baby! Like he was doing all
Oh
the
my
like
God.
voices. You could tell it wasn't his real voice.
No. But they nailed the look. They really did. They
They
nailed
did.
the pimp, the pimp look.
They did. Open collar and
So
everything.
they're all shuffling into the theater. They're trying to find their seats. And of course, our two guys spot our two girls and they're like, hell yeah, let's sit next to them and see if we can get lucky.
If you get
Do the
scared, you
whole
put your arm around me.
stretching your arm and trying to
Uh
put
huh.
them around and stuff like that, trying to be smooth like you're in middle school.
Yep.
So, movie just starts really abruptly. It just lights go down, movie's on.
Everybody's
So
watching,
the
except for the
movie
blind
that,
guy.
except for the blind guy who's just there with the sunglasses. So the movie is starting, and from what we can see, the whole premise is just some kids exploring on their little dirt bikes. They are in this really creepy, abandoned looking cemetery, tombs that are everywhere, and they are in search of Nostradamus, they heard rumor that he was buried there, and
Mm-hmm.
they are trying to look for him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going through some stuff, and as they're looking, a guy's explaining like who Nostradamus was, because some girls are like, "What are we doing? What are we looking for? Oh my
He sounds
god!"
like a rapper.
Yeah, is this mixtape dropping soon? So, that's going on, and as this is going, the movie is explaining like what they're looking for, and they're in a cemetery. The homegirl Kathy's like, "Bitch, I told you this is a scary movie.
Yeah, she's all
Like,
mad.
what did you do to me?" And homeboy over there is just like, "Well, if you're scared, you can hold my hand. I don't mind."
Mm-hmm. He offered.
He offered, and she just kind of looks at him like, "Oh my god." Meanwhile, the blind wife's dude side piece shows up. We cut to the blind guy's wife or
Oh,
woman,
that's right.
whatever. She is just doing some making out,
Hardcore.
some heavy petting, if you will.
Hardcore. Like, he just shows up and sits right next to her, and then next thing you know, they're going at it. And the
Yeah.
blind guy is like, he's distracted because he's trying to see the movie.
Yes.
He can't hear all that going on. Like, you're blind.
Yes. And also, this is my fault, but I did forget to touch on just before everybody started going in the movie theater, we have this really big display
Oh, that's
of
right.
a samurai guy on this dirt bike, and he's got this really cool silvery like looking demon mask.
Mm-hmm.
Demons. So the blind guy sees, quote sees, feels the mask presence, I guess, whatever, and he tells his girl, "Don't touch that, it's
Right.
dangerous." And
He's like
she's like,
reaching for it.
"Okay, I wasn't gonna touch it anyway." Well, someone touches it, and it's one of the hookers. One of the
Yeah.
hookers touches it. Rick James, she grabs it, and she's like, "Ooh, look at me. Look at the scary mask." And she cuts herself.
Yeah, she put it on and cut herself.
She put it on and cut herself. And the Richard Pryor's like, "Bitch, I told you don't be touching nothing.
He
I got no
did.
money to pay for this shit." That's what I'm only assuming internally that's what he's saying.
I'm not making enough money for you to
I know.
replace this.
You know how much money I could have made this evening when I taking you bitches out of here? No. So now we can go back into the movie. So as they're exploring, they come across this tomb. They kind of climb down, and they find this tomb, and they're kind of cleaning it, and they're like reading the letters. They're like, "N O," and they're like, "Oh my god, they found it."
Wow.
So they find this, and they decide to crack open the tomb. They're just like, "All right, cool, we found it. Now what? Okay, yeah, let's disturb the dead."
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
And that's exactly what they did. Inside, they find a book with a drawing of the mask that they find next to it. So it seems to be some type of demon book that
Mm-hmm.
is in Latin, and it says whoever wears the mask simply becomes a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read something like that, I guess for them, they're like, "Oh, well, I got to put this on. This is just a bunch of
Of course.
malarkey, whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe it. So he puts the
Old
mask
lady's
on.
tale. Old wives' tale.
Yeah. And then he's just kind of like, "Look, guys, like, it's fine. Like, oh, I'm a demon." Yeah.
Yeah, shaking
It's
his
just
head
like
side to
dancing
side.
with
Ooh,
it.
look at me.
And oh my goodness, wouldn't you know, he gets a cut on his face just like our thriller friend
Mhm.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
And he cuts himself.
She
And
starts
yeah,
feeling it,
just
right?
kind of the same spot, same way. And so she is watching this, and she's like, "Oh my god, he got a cut just like me. This is the same mask. Wait a minute."
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden her cut starts bleeding again.
Yeah. And he's like, go to the washroom,
Yeah,
girl.
so he's just so so bothered by
Disgusted
these
by it.
women. He's like, how dare this bitch bleed? Like, so she goes or whatever, and he tells his other hoe, like, you know what, go check on her. I ain't got time for
Yeah.
this.
Where the hell
I'm
she at?
yeah, I'm taking you ladies out to this movie, and y'all are both not here. So she goes to go check on her friend,
Mm-hmm. And
and Rosemary, is in a panic in the bathroom, and she's just trying to clean up herself, trying to take care of the cut, and then it just starts bubbling
that she
and
should be
like
panicking. It's pulsating. It's,
look, I've had pimples on my face before, and that shit don't do that.
no, whoever, I would freak out too. It's all.
And she just goes into a freaking panic because it just busts, and it is the
Oozes out.
nastiest, oozy, gross, whatever. And she's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Cuts to her friend. She's like, "I'm coming, girl. I'm coming. I'm coming." And
Yeah.
she goes
I'm
into the
looking for you,
bathroom,
Rosemary.
and she's like, "Rosemary, where are you?" And she hears her in the stall, and she opens the stall door, and it's kind of like how I don't know why I thought of Quasimodo. He's like, "Don't look at me, I'm so ugly right now."
I thought she was doing cocaine.
She's like, "Wait, girl, I want to bump too. That's what you're doing in here."
She's all in the corner of the stall, just breathing hard.
Yeah. And she's
Ooh,
got her
yeah,
hand
bad
up on
bump.
the wall, like she's
Yeah.
just going through it. And her friend looks at her hand, and she's like, "What? Why is her hand
Mm-hmm.
like that? Why does it look like a witch's hand?" So she sees that, and she's like, "Fuck." And her friend turns around, and she just starts attacking her. She's got all of this neon color
Yeah.
slime coming out of her.
Yeah.
And I actually put a fork in that too, because the slime changes colors, not
Sometimes it's
on the
red.
same person,
Yeah.
but sometimes we see that it's like neon blue, then it's green, and it's just all these different colors.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. I don't know if it's just
Different race of demons. I don't know. It's Argento
yeah, that's
again.
what I'm
The
thinking.
co-writer of this, he just makes up stuff.
Yeah. So, and as this is progressing, we see it cut back and forth to like the movie that everybody is
Right.
watching, and it cuts back. So,
It's-
we as the viewer are starting to realize that what's going on in the movie that they're watching is simultaneously happening in real life.
Mhm.
I like it. I think it's pretty. I like the whole cutting back and forth, and I kind of like
it
yeah.
references both, and you're seeing it happen at the same time chronologically. Again, as a viewer, you're able to put one and one together, but they don't know what's happening. And to speak more about the the cut pussing out, and then when she attacks Kathy and scratches her on her neck like
Right in
that,
the throat.
it looked good. Like
It did look good.
it was done pretty well. Like the gore on there was I liked it. It was good. But yeah, so to pick up where you left, she's running, right, and she does this whole scene where she's behind behind the screen, and
Like the silk
Kathy's the one that
screen.
got struck. Yeah, she starts screaming and stuff, and it's screaming with the movie because it's happening at the same time, right? We're seeing what's happening in the movie, and then in the movie we're watching at the same time. But I also thought like, that kind of reminds me of the movie Scream, like
Oh
when she's
yeah.
dying and behind the scenes she's yelling, and then finally because I think um Cheryl's like, or Kathy's like, hey, I hear
She's like,
screaming.
"Oh, what's going on? I hear
That's
all that
real
screaming."
screaming. Yeah.
That's not the
So
movie.
I thought like, oh, that's kind of like Scream itself. So maybe it was
Yeah.
another nod. I don't know. I didn't look into it further, but could
It
be.
could be. Yeah. And so then we also, blind guy's getting impatient, and I feel so bad I didn't catch his name, but that's fine. So he
Yeah.
starts like calling for his Liz. I think her name is Liz.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
yelling,
Because
Liz.
he says it so much during the movie. It's always about Liz. But
Yeah,
he's
'cause she
like,
was kind of
Liz.
telling them what was happening in the movie. Are they scared? Well, yeah, it's a horror movie, dude. What do you think? You don't need eyes to know that.
Yeah. So he's looking for her, and she's still doing her heavy petting deal with her man.
Yeah, going
She's
off.
just she's trying to get it in. I don't know why how quick she thought she was gonna like get it in before he realized that like she wasn't coming back soon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. In
I
the way you're
don't,
saying
but
it, it feels
whatever.
like pun intended. She was
Yeah.
literally trying to get it in.
Yes. So we hear all of the screaming going on, and then we realize that the silk screen is like actually moving
Mm-hmm.
because she is trying to escape and she's trying to get away, and she's just in a panic. She's bleeding profusely from her neck, a gnarly wound, and she breaks through the silk screen, and people are like starting to like freak out. They're like, "Oh shit, something really is going on."
Yeah, like
Simultaneously, and this I like about these demons, they are resourceful. So Rosemary finds this rope. You can see the rope being pulled like off the wall, like they're like little, I don't know what, it's like
hooks, I
little hand,
guess.
yeah, hooks, I guess, or whatever. So you see this rope getting pulled out, and then these people are just like playing tonsil hockey, and the rope just comes around them, and they get strangled.
But like it doesn't make sense, right?
It
Like it
doesn't.
was on the
Nobody
back of
should
their
die from
necks.
that. Yeah,
They're
shouldn't
looking at
die from
each
that.
other. Yeah. But then they started turning around and
They killed themselves.
they killed themselves.
Yeah. So
It wasn't on your trachea until you turned around.
yeah, you know what? And now that we said, now that I said like, oh, they killed himself, it reminded me of Full Metal Jacket. Whenever he's like, he puts his hand out and he's like, no, choke yourself. And then he gets his own hands and he's choking
Choking
himself, and he's like,
himself.
no, you idiot, use my hand to choke yourself. That's what that reminded me of.
It does. It does. That was good.
But the demons are resourceful, and I really did like the creative kill. As far fetched as it was, I did appreciate it, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, in all of her glory, the second prostitute is starting to change in front of everybody. And then she gets like this really long tongue. And I'm like, oh, no wonder that pimp loves her. Look at that
Mm-hmm.
tongue.
That was
She
his
called him
golden goose.
the money maker, right?
Uh-huh.
And I just want to talk about the teeth part. So,
Oh,
nothing really grosses me out. I mean, given what I do for work, I really don't get grossed out much. I cannot stand to see stuff with teeth. It's just, it makes me cringe. I don't like any of that. It's just, so I can appreciate, as she's turning and she's got her tongue like everywhere, her teeth are like being replaced and pushed out by these like really long fang type teeth.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, for the time, I thought it looked pretty good, and it made me feel gross, and it's fucking
It
2026.
it
So
does. It does. And
yeah,
it
I
doesn't
didn't
look
like
like
it.
the teeth were popped out. They like slid down her gum
Down.
and like on
Oh
her
yeah.
lip. Like they were just
And you
barely
can
coming. Like
hear
they
like
oozed
the
out.
sound, and it just, yeah, I just,
It
it
was a
wasn't,
weird.
yeah. And surprise, the guy that was strangled just is dropped from like that makeshift noose of the rope that was used to kill him, and everybody is like, okay, this is fucked up.
Yeah, this is happening.
Yeah, like, okay, we're not into this, we want out.
Mm-hmm.
And we see our poor blind guy is just devastated that his unfaithful companion is Dunzo, and
Don't know how he knew, but he did.
he's seen enough, and I guess he gets his eyes gouged out.
Yeah.
He wasn't using them anyway, so I mean, like,
Rosemary takes his eyes out and he's still screaming, ah!
Liz.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
everybody's churning at this point. Everybody's getting attacked. They're trying to figure
mhm.
out what's happening. They're like, what do we do? Like, they couldn't explain what was happening. And as they were investigating, they're getting attacked by newer demons, right? Because everybody's churning. I mean, I think even at
Mhm.
one point, Elf, she churned. Like they threw up in her mouth or something. she churned into some. So everybody's churning, and Pimp Guy's being
He's
the
kind of
rational guy.
trying to self-proclaim himself as the leader of the
Yeah,
pack. Everybody else is stupid but him. They're quickly finding out that they are trapped inside the very entrance that they came in
right. They go
is
towards it.
gone.
It's
Like, well, it's not gone,
cemented
but
in.
it is. And so they're just freaking out. And one of the main character guys, and it really just made me laugh because it's the dramatics of, certain things or phrases that people say. And he's just like, there has to be an explanation.
Yeah.
And it's like,
No, it's
yeah,
Argento, man.
we know, but we're past that. So, like, let's try
But
to figure this out.
Argento doesn't write explanations.
Stupid.
And then
Um,
the pimp's like, everybody just chill out. There's
and he
gotta be
starts
an
to think.
emergency exit.
He starts to try to think with logic here.
Yeah,
Um,
you
there's
gotta
no
get paid.
emergency exit that they can get out of. Are they an
Nope.
emergency? Yes. Is
I
there an
think they
exit?
broke through
No.
a wall, right? They broke through a wall and it was like an empty
Eventually.
room. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm jumping too far.
I know
Whew.
you're excited. That's
I'm getting
okay.
excited. All of it's
So,
flashing through my head.
as this pimp guy is like, obvious, okay, there's no emergency exit, and they've all established that it's the movie that's causing all of this to happen.
Hmm.
So he's like, cool, I'm gonna fix this. Let's just go destroy the
Yeah.
projection room. That will surely stop everything because even though the silk screen is torn, the movie is still going on, it's still playing. So they think, let's just destroy the room and the movie will stop and everything will go back to normal and we'll be able to get out of the building and like it's magic.
Hmm.
Which
Hmm.
I don't
No,
know. Mm-mm.
no, and
I wouldn't think that, but
it was ironic. It was ironic because they go to the projection room, right, and they find out
hmm
it's like these automatic projectors. We could only assume remote. I don't know. It just seems like they're just automatically playing on their own.
nobody's in
So
there.
nobody's in there. So they decide to smash them, break them, stop that movie, which I think
hmm
is ironic because what if they had just barricaded themselves and watched the rest of it to see how it would play
It
out?
ended. That's actually a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
What if they
hmm
were to figure out there was an actual way to defeat them or get out of it? If it was in the movie. But
But
no,
then
they
again, if
they
you're in that
basically
same
did it.
position, well, I don't know what I would think if
I don't think I'd be
there
able
were
to sit
zombies.
there and watch it if I knew demons were running around.
Yeah. So here we are talking shit, but
Yeah. Never mind.
whatever
I'm gonna take
me.
that back.
Yeah. Um. So meanwhile that this is happening, people are still continuing to get picked off here and there while they are realizing that that did nothing. It did not work.
Hmm.
We are introduced to some secondary characters, and they just seem to be your typical coke-headed hoodlums that are just cruising the streets looking for trouble.
Hmm.
And so there's like a little montage of them just kind of chilling, and
Snorting coke out of a coke can
yeah, I thought that was kind of
through a
funny, right?
straw.
Coke out of coke can.
I've never seen that in my life.
No, I've
I
never
don't
done
even.
cocaine, but the only cocaine use that I've seen are like from the likes of Pulp Fiction and
Oh,
shit
okay.
like
Well,
that.
I would imagine that you wouldn't know how much cocaine's in that coke bottle, in that coke can, and they're snorting it like
Like, I
out
don't
of a
know
straw.
much, but I think you got to be careful with that stuff.
I think so too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hey, they could have a high tolerance, right?
They look like it.
So, we thought that our blind friend had already went with the Lord, but he did not.
No.
He comes out and he is telling people it's not the movie. It is
Mm-mm.
not the movie. This place is cursed. And the pimp is like, get your ass out of the way.
Yeah. You're supposed to be a zombie anyways. Or a
Yeah.
demon.
So chaos and carnage just continues to ensue. And we are back to the cokeheads and Billy Idol. White Wedding is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. So I wonder what kind of like how much do they have to pay to get Billy Idol? Because that's a big name back
I mean,
in.
they have most of the soundtrack is like heavy metal stuff
Mm-hmm.
and or popular rock music. So I don't know. I mean, from what I understood, it was a low budget film.
But they did good with what, what it was.
Yeah.
So back to the Coke use. Coke eventually just accidentally finds its way all over the back seat of the car, and the driver is just pissed. That's his stash. They
Yep.
never do their own stash, and they better get every little bit off of the back seat, which we know is not going to happen, right?
They're scraping it. They're scraping it for everywhere. And when I mean
Yes.
everywhere, he was looking. He was looking in one of the girls' cleavage for some cocaine that might have fallen there.
And I think these are the first and only boobies,
There they
right?
are. That's it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think he, if I remember correctly, he puts that blade up against the nipple.
Like, dude, okay, so like, high or not, like, you are not going to be putting a razor blade to my fucking titty,
I don't know.
not my nipple.
And you're in a car. You hit a speed bump, a pothole.
So they, so they were having like a little moment, like they think it's all hot, and he's like, "Yeah, you like." Then she's like, "These tits,"
Uh huh.
and then
That
he
whole.
did. Then he cuts her.
I think he did.
So he did. He cut
Yeah.
her, and she like slapped him, and he's like, "Ooh, yeah," like when the coke makes you all angry, and it's just like gross.
Well, what did she think?
Ew.
And not only that, that particular scene, because there was cocaine involved, it was actually censored in like a lot of countries. They didn't even show that scene.
Which
So,
is
but
funny. So you can show
the titty scene,
tits,
but you can't
tits
show the
getting cut.
cocaine.
Yeah, with a white substance. Oh my goodness.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
So
hilarious.
now we go back to our friends who they're very slowly just realizing, you know what, I think this is it, guys. Like we
Yeah.
can't figure this out. We can't find an escape. I think this is it. We're gonna die. So they're kind of just relaxed and just coming to terms with their fate. You know, they've barricaded certain entrances into the theater to, in hopes, keep the demons from coming in and things like that. But I'm sure, common sense tells them it's not going to keep them all out. And depending on how many are out there, right?
I mean,
How
yeah,
many have been turned at this point? Who knows?
yeah.
We have no idea. So, they see an area where it looks like they may be able to break a wall. Some tiny glimmer of hope arises in them, and they're like, "Oh my God, let's destroy this. This is an out. Let's get through here." They go, and they seem to be just in a big basement full of nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, it was just. But here's the thing: they broke through. They broke through concrete. That room was just bricks and
Yeah,
mortar. Would have been a lot easier to get through that. You just went through a concrete wall.
and they
Break
give up.
those walls. Yeah. No, they just
They're like,
started
well, guys,
freaking
that's
out.
it. So the women just go into hysteria, right? Only
Yeah.
the women,
Yeah.
just the women.
The men are shaking them.
Yeah, and they're just flailing their arms around like, oh my God. And our friends that are outside, they find this little nook right outside the Metropole, and they are like, do you hear that? There's like pounding and voices. And they're like, you're high. You hear nothing. You're high. And a cop car, boop, boop, comes up, and they're busted, right? They're just like, oh shit, there's the cops. They're like, hey, what are you doing here? And they're like, nothing. What are you doing?
And they're like, freeze. And they get out the
And they're like,
car,
nah.
pushes the cop, get off me, pig. Takes off running.
Yes. So they make an escape. They break into the theater, and just they explore just to find themselves in the same predicament as the newfound buddies that they haven't even met yet. But
Yeah. And inadvertently left the door open of how they got in and
mhm.
demons got out. So now you have
Yep.
demons in the city. 'Cause I think one of the
Yes.
cops finds the blind guy. The blind guy gets out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a demon at that point until the cops turn him around and he attacks them. So here we go. We're starting it outside now. While the cokeheads are in the inside.
Wrong place, wrong time for everybody involved,
Yep.
because this is, I guess, the point of origin, right? That all of this has started. So I feel bad for the cokeheads, but I mean, how were they supposed to know their fate, right?
Right.
They just were there.
No. And so they're running around. They're finding out that there's more demons. I think the girl
Mhm.
who had her
Got
nipple
her titty
cut
cut
was she was fascinated at looking at a mirror that she'd never
of
seen that
herself, like our Peter
didn't have
Pan
cocaine
friend.
on it.
And she was just feeling herself, just like our Peter Pan friend was. She's putting on this red
Yeah,
lipstick and she's like, I'd fuck me.
yeah.
Katie
Not knowing that
Silence of the Lambs, like,
I
I'd
do
fuck
me.
me. Yeah, I do me. Yeah, whatever. But that's what it gave me the vibes of, and she died. So,
Yeah,
but
she gets attacked.
at least she died feeling herself, right, in her
Yeah,
red lipstick.
she was having a good time. She didn't know she was a girl.
Hmm. So now, this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie that I really liked is seeing the crowd of demons. They're just encroaching on everybody else,
Hmm.
and they're kind of going like this like tunnel, the hallway look, and they all have like their glowing eyes, and you just see there's like a
Oh yeah,
horde of them, and I really liked that scene. I thought it was pretty cool.
that's a poster scene.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. That is
Hmm.
like the promo for it. You're
Yep.
right. So thought that was a cool scene, and everybody's in the theater. Like every and by everybody, I mean all the demons. Everybody has turned into a demon at this point, except for Kathy and
Good Lord, I
Ken.
forgot his name.
What is
Ken.
his name? Ken or George? I think Ken is the friend,
Oh,
right?
okay, so it's George.
Yes. So they are trying to just escape and get out of there unscathed. And womp womp, our friend in the white shirt, he becomes injured. And he's
Yeah,
telling Kathy and George, like, dude, that's it for me. Like, I'm going to
he grabs that.
change.
He grabs that samurai sword and he says, "Just kill me. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
want
like,
to turn into them."
I can't do this. I need you to kill me. And he's like, oh, I can't do that. Like, you're my bestie. Like, what?
No.
And
Yeah,
Kathy's just like, you know what? Y'all figure it out. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go
yeah.
behind these curtains.
I'm
If
gonna
you're gonna kill
hide.
him, I don't want to see it. Like the blood is not on my hands, okay?
Right.
So he starts to turn because his friend can't kill him because he's a pussy. He can't kill him. But when he does turn, he's like, "Oh shit, he really did turn. Okay, yeah, I gotta kill him." So he just
Cuts that head
cuts him
off.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cuts the head
and
off.
then he locks eyes with that dirt bike that's just been sitting there.
I mean, if you're gonna have the mask, a sword, and a dirt bike in the first scene, you better let it play out in the movie. It better
Yes,
be used. So yeah, he gets on that dirt bike. I mean, he's doing like he's been
he's
riding
doing like
in a
like tricks and stuff.
yeah,
Like
he was
he's
riding
been
on the
waiting for
top.
this moment.
You know, when you go to a theater and you have different rows of movie seats for you to sit on, he's riding on
Mhm.
top of them. Like,
Like
like
that makes
physically
sense.
impossible.
I know. It's
With one
so
hand,
stupid.
slicing and dicing zombies as he's
Dude, and
driving
I gotta
around.
imagine for um like me and my references like Kill Bill, the Hattori Hanzo fucking katana. Like
Yeah,
that's gotta be heavy, right? That can't be no little
100%.
flimsy
And
thing.
not only that, he's holding the side that has, he's holding it with his right hand, which is where the accelerator is for the motorcycle, and he's slicing and dicing. I mean, while he got what's her name on the back of him, and he's able to like spin move and everything. I mean, he was riding that thing like he grew up with one of them.
Yes. And as we're watching this montage of him just fucking everybody up, we're listening to Accept again, Fast as a
Hmm.
Shark. And I thought it just worked so perfectly because he's just there messing everybody up to this metal, thrash
Right.
metal kind of song. And it just goes. And I liked it.
From what I know, that scene is what made this a cult classic. It was
Okay, I
that
can see that.
scene of this wild out scene of you on a dirt bike in a movie theater cutting up like demons like that was what made it such a cult classic.
Yeah, and he just kind of like all of a sudden he got these balls and he's like, you know what? I've had enough of this.
Yeah, he
I'm
looked like
taking
Van
all of y'all
Damme.
out. Yeah.
His muscles
So
came out, his shirt sleeves came off. He
mhm.
was going at it.
So he finally survives, right? Like he got all the bad guys and he's taken his girl Kathy and he's like, we're leaving. Let's figure this out together. So as they're trying to escape the current area that they're in, they hear a helicopter. They're like, what is that? What is that noise? Do you hear that
Yeah.
noise? Oh my
That could have
God.
been a demon Godzilla. Who knows?
Who knows? Well, a helicopter fell through the roof.
Yeah.
So what that tells me as the viewer is this is spread quickly,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
this really realistically like has happened within what, an hour's time,
Mm-hmm. The
maybe,
movie
because
wasn't
when they
even done.
destroyed the movie wasn't even done when they destroyed the room. So this happened very quickly, the multiplication of these demons, and they went airborne. So
I mean, if you
I
think
guess,
about it, if you're listening to this podcast right now, your city was a zombie apocalypse right now, or
mm-hmm,
demon apocalypse right now, and we
yep,
just started. We're 50 minutes in, and you would have had been already dead. So it's a
mm-hmm,
crazy thought.
yeah. So that happens, and they're freaking out about the helicopter, like what are the chances, right? But they look up and they're like, okay, well, I'm kind of glad this happened, because like, we have an out. Maybe
Yeah.
we can get out of here and save ourselves.
I mean, he
And
starts up the
so,
helicopter, right? Then just to spin the blades to like kill some other demons that are coming towards him.
yep.
Um,
So that was also pretty cool, resourceful, right?
yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
know to do that.
I
How would I
wouldn't
know
know
to
to
do
do that
that? Like, I don't
either.
fly. He not only rides dirt bikes, can wield a sword. He knows what how
I
to
mean, I
start
guess
the
now
engine.
if this were to happen in the modern day and age, I'm sure somebody could figure it out, because they played enough simulation games and things like
Oh
that to
yeah,
like, I
yeah,
think I
yeah.
could figure this out. How hard could
No,
it be?
I don't
So
know.
he slices everybody up that way, and he finds this. I guess it's a wench. Is that what that thing
Oh,
is?
a harpoon,
Oh, whatever. But it has
but it's
an
connected
a,
to the winch.
yeah. Okay, something like that. He
Hmm.
Batman their way out of there,
Yeah, he
essentially.
did. He did Batman their way out.
He Batman their way through the hole that's in the roof. And as he's trying to escape, the demons are just starting to climb up, and they're not done with them yet. So they escape, and there is his
T-1000.
George. Yeah, T-1000 is there. So George slips, and he's trying to get up out of there, out of the hole. And T-1000 shows up, and he's like, no, 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 no. This is not
Yeah,
how it's going to go.
he's not a demon
So
though.
we haven't seen this guy the whole movie. Was he on the roof the whole
No,
time? Was he like, where
foresaw
were
it.
you?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about him real quick. Didn't say much. Mysterious man with metal on his face, handing out
Mm-hmm.
tickets. Doesn't turn into a demon. Wears all black. Trying to
Who
kill them and
who
push them
recruited
back
him?
into theater. And all of that is answered with nobody knows
Yeah.
because Argento
Uh-huh.
doesn't write explanations.
Hmm. Y'all figure it out.
That's
I
how he
don't even
writes his
know. I
movies.
just thought he looked cool.
Yeah,
I just
he's
liked
just
his
like,
jacket.
we're gonna throw him in there randomly,
Yeah.
no
So,
explanation.
George is struggling, and homegirl Kathy comes and saves the day. And she's like, not my man.
Hits him with the harpoon.
Mm-hmm.
He falls. George gets out, pushes his head onto some rebar that's sticking out,
Ah, that was pretty cool. I liked
kills the
that.
guy right in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he's not a demon, so I mean we don't know why, but he's not. And he kills him. So then they take off, right? They take off, and then they start realizing we're in a demon apocalyptic world right now. Like everything's
Everybody
on
around them is
fire.
dead.
You see all these
Yep.
demons coming out of nowhere trying to chase him,
Mm-hmm.
and they're greeted with what, like a guy, an older man, a younger woman, and a kid with a gun. I think he had a
In a
rifle
Jeep.
in a jeep, in a white jeep. He's like, "Come on, get in, get in, get in."
It
So
reminded
they
me of
jump
Jurassic
in.
Park.
Yeah,
This Jurassic Park looking Jeep. They're like, all right, y'all are alive. Y'all don't look like you're infected. Come on,
get in.
get in there. And they just kind of ride off like into the mist. And I love the way that this scene was shot, because you have your two survivors where they just like went through it in the movie theater, and they're joined by these random people who were kind enough, by the way, to stop. I wouldn't imagine a lot of people would help others during a time like this.
Right.
But they were so gracious as to pick them up, and it just kind of shows them enjoying the breeze in their hair, and they're like, "Oh man, we finally did it! Like, we got it! Like, what now? Like, I guess this is the new start of my life." And they're shooting these demons as they're escaping, and they're just kind of like, "All right, well, welcome. You're with us now. This is so and so, and we're up from out west, or we're traveling. Let's just kind of figure this out together."
Yeah, they said, "Where are you
And
going?" And he said, "We see some lights. Maybe it's
mm-hmm,
not dead everywhere. Let's go find out if there's still life."
yep. And then we start to see the credits roll. We're
Hmm.
there's a really cool shot from behind of our main characters, George and Kathy. And it does like a really close zoom up to them. And I feel
I
so
think,
bad for George.
yeah, because
So
like she starts to reach behind her neck, right?
he,
She starts to
yep,
realize
she reads behind the neck and she's like, "Oh no."
I'm infected.
Infected. She turns around and poor George is like, "God, man." He gets capped by the little kid with the
Yeah, the little
shotgun.
kid
Or
stops
she
eating his
gets capped.
bread.
Yeah. He starts eating his bread. Yeah. He's
Stops
like,
eating his
"Fuck."
bread, takes a
He's got to put
shotgun.
down
Like
his
he's no
roll.
way.
I
Yeah, he stopped eating
know.
his roll,
And
and
he's like inconvenienced, right?
he's like, "Oh,
So
another one."
he caps her, she falls off, and George is looking at her like,
Oh
"Damn."
well.
He's like, "Fuck, man, I just tried to get laid. Like, that's all I wanted."
I could have got out of that building a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to save her.
Exactly. He's like, "I went through all of this shit. You know how hard it was to ride that dirt bike? You know how hard it was to go over every single row of
Right?
seats? And
She
for
was
what?"
gripping me so hard.
I know. And she wouldn't even hold my hand at first. And I
Yeah.
got her a Coke.
Oh man, yeah, that scene, it was really cinematic. The way they were driving off into like this
Mm-hmm.
distant darkness, and they don't know where they're going, and here comes the twist, right? She's a demon, so it kind of gives you this feeling like there's gonna be a part two, right? And from what I've read, part two has nothing to do with it, so you don't get
Not like a
any answers.
continuation. We don't know what
No,
happened to George
we have
and the
no
kid with the
idea.
bread.
Nope, we have no idea. It's just that's just the way it is.
Dang.
Overall, the movie gave me it gave me that nostalgic feel of those old VHS type of movies that you would see on the shelf when you're gonna go rent them at any
Mm-hmm.
like VHS shop, and it was what you expected when you got home. You pop that in, it had that nostalgic feel. It gave you
Mm-hmm.
that creepy kind of vibe, and at the same time, like you're talking about with the videography of how it looked, that grainy,
Mm-hmm.
saturated feel. Coupled that with the soundtrack and the idea that you're just having a good time, and all of a sudden, it's an invasion of supernatural things, and you've got two people who are able to get out, and then turns out one of them turns into one. I think that was a really good story. I enjoyed it. The gore was good. The
Mm-hmm.
music was good. The
The music
characters were
sold me for
good.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. I've read some of the reviews when it first came out. It was not, appreciated. They found no logic, no plot, no
Mhm.
characterization as cons towards the movie. But for
Yeah.
us, it's like, who needs it, right? Like we're there for the main part of the movie. I don't need to know if there's lore
Yeah.
behind it. You
And I
know?
feel like if I were, my age during that time, like in 85 when this came
Mm-hmm.
out, I would probably feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But things have developed so much in a way that now at 2026, you know how many movies I've seen out there that have no freaking explanation for any of
Mm-hmm.
it at
Yeah.
all.
I can
And
only
some of it,
recall. Yeah.
sometimes we see it, they're like, "Oh my God, that's art." And other times it's like, "Well, that's fucking stupid."
Right.
So I
Exactly.
think that's why, now we appreciate it because we don't need all of those like loose ends to be tied to
Mm,
use our brains to create our own ending. It's like those books when you would read like, "Oh, if you make this decision, go to page
right.
54."
Right.
So I mean, one of my favorite, my favorite show is The Sopranos, and I don't know if you ever saw how that ended, but quite the controversy even
Right. It
still
has a
now.
lot of what
It's
happened
open
at the
ended.
end.
It's
Right.
open ended. And some people just don't like that. They don't want to have to
I mean,
think and come
I'm
up with their
biased.
own conclusion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I'm biased because one of my favorite movies is Gremlins, and they don't explain
I
who
love this.
Gremlins are.
That is my
And
favorite Christmas movie.
exactly the same here. We'll be doing that too. But yeah,
Hmm.
you don't get to understand because they don't ever talk about what the Gremlins are, or where they came from, or you can try to look it up.
And to
There's
be
no lore
honest,
to it.
I
Don't
don't
need it.
care. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care where they came from. Really
No.
don't.
And so I think Demons did a really good job of capturing the what the what if scenario,
Hmm.
and without having you jumped right into it and you don't get to understand a whole lot of it, and it doesn't really need it. You just know
Yeah.
it's kind of like they wrote the movie and just said at this point this needs to happen, at this point this needs to happen, at this point this needs to happen, and without
Well,
having to come up with the whole back end, they just threw in characters to make it happen.
yeah, and I think, and I didn't do as much research to see like how many uh, you know, zombie movies have come out before this, happen.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have
Night of the
the
Living Dead.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
obviously that is kind of that's the start of all of these types of movies, and here we are in 2026 and they're still making these kinds of movies. They're still
Mm-hmm.
making these kinds of series. So, you can make whatever you want of it. There's
Right.
no right or wrong way, right, to conclude a zombie movie. Really, you're just here for the gore. You're here for the punchlines because there's
Yeah.
always got to be funny stuff that's going on in these movies. You're here for the titties because you know it. There's going to be at least one pair somewhere in a horror movie, right?
Right.
So, I liked the movie. I mean, I've seen it so many times that I really have come to like love the movie. I think overall, I would give it probably like a 7. I mean,
Mm.
I really
Seven.
did enjoy it. And I do
Yeah.
want to watch the other demons. Eventually, at some point, I did not know that there was 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought it was
Yes.
just 2. So I'll stop at 2.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'll leave it. But I did enjoy the movie. I think for the budget that they had, they did a good job. I think the music, the score, all of that definitely had a big part to do with the reason why I liked it. Or I think the reason why
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people liked it. So yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, it's definitely going in my journal, my TV and
Yes.
film journal. So it's worthy. I would give it an 8,
Okay.
just because I like the I guess I forgot how you would say it, the makeup of the whole
Hmm.
gore. So I thought it was done very well.
Hmm.
Yep. All right.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you for your patience. We will be discussing on what movie to uncover next and review. I'm excited. There's lots of options out there. So Sox and I we got to get to talking and see what we want to cover next. And we hope that you guys join us next time.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.